Okay, as you can see, we've removed our screws from the rings. Remove our bushnell. And now I'm going to install the Mark AR. Reinstall the rings. Get a screw in there. There you go. Just enough to hold it in there, and then there we go. Now we can get the rest of the screws in and put it on the rifle and find our eye relief and get it rough sided in. Looks pretty sweet. Okay, we're gonna set our eye relief here. Now, that is one thing that is a very personal subject, I guess you might say. Some people like to get the offset mounts that puts the scope further out here so they can bring the stock in. Myself, I like to set my eye relief with the stock fully extended, because that's usually how I shoot. I mean, unless I'm using a red dot or something, then I bring it in, you know, close quarters type thing. So we've reinstalled our screws, but our scope is still nice and loose. So, and usually the way I like to do it, flip it around here, is I like to start at the end of the stock with it not touching the shoulder, and then go into your sight picture. And bring it up tight against your shoulder. Now this particular scope has pretty much about 4 inches of eye relief, so you've got a lot of room to play with. Again, you know, you may want to get one of the offset mounts to where it'll move the scope forward so you can be, you know, closer in and on the receiver. So I think we've got it set about where I like it. But that's one thing, especially for you new shooters out there, don't rush it. You know, you got to play with it a little bit to see where you want your scope at. And it also depends on your scope, how much eye relief you have. Just don't set it so close that you're gonna get scoped. Thought we'd take a bird's eye look at this and see what I'm talking about here from the end of the scope, or from the end of the stock. And we'll move up on there. As you can see, the sight picture start to open up. So right about there is where the eye relief starts. So yeah, we've got a good 4 or 5 inches on that. And then, you know, you can bring it in till you start to lose it. Okay. Out there. So, like I said, I think it's pretty good there. Now, also remember, for you new shooters out there, that your eye relief will change when you increase the magnification on your variable powered scopes. Okay, one final thing on the eye relief, and then we're going to get to leveling it up. Once you figure you think you've got it set where you want it, play with it. You know, put your stock in a couple of notches and see how your sight picture is. Like I said, for the most part with my M-15, I like it fully extended unless I'm going CQB with a red dot. Feels more natural this way. And that is about perfect. So, now that we've got our eye relief set, let's get it all leveled up, get it tightened down. Okay, we're going to get ready to tighten the scope down and get everything leveled up. As you can see, I've installed a level on my gun vise, so we're level there. And using our modified level to level system, I went to the rear and forward parts of the receiver and clamped the front vise down. So for the most part, we're not going to get any real movement out of it. So we know our receiver is absolute level. Alright, now let's get to the scope. Okay, let's remove our levels for the moment. I'll go ahead and install our scope. Got my position scribed in the bottom. Now, as I said in the American Defense Manufacturing videos I did a while back, with a dual throw lever, always be mindful as how you clamp it down when you zero the optic. Because of the simple fact, if you do it in reverse, you will throw the zero off. You have to repeat that each time. So, as I always like to make it a habit, tighten the rear one, then the forward one. Okay. And double check across the front here, make sure we're still where we need to be. Yep. Alright. Take our other level on top of the top turret, and excuse me, can't do that with my glasses on. And it looks like we're about perfect. Move this over to the hash marks. Level staying level, and alright, now we can start tightening that down. It's usually best to tighten the bottom ones down first. Leave your level on there so you can see if it's getting thrown off at all. Now, just a word on doing this, you know, everybody has pretty much their own way of doing things. You know, there are some right ways and wrong ways to doing it, but for the most part, you know, everybody has their own little way of doing this. Okay. Well, we're going to get these tightened up, and then we're going to see about getting it sighted in. Just a quick view so you folks out there in YouTube understand what I'm doing. The black mark was where my laser was with the Bushnell. So right now we need to move over a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is dial the crosshairs even with this, and that should be about where we were at 100 yard zero. Hopefully this works. Okay, now there's a look at what's going on here, hopefully through the scope. I'm going to have to move you off to the side for just a second here. Okay. We adjusted our elevation. Now, I'm going to adjust our windage. Oh, I forgot how tight that thing is. And hopefully you can see that. So, well, I think that's going to pretty much put us right on. I guess we'll see if my theory works, eh? Alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Looks pretty sweet, don't it? Now, much like its larger counterparts, just got to get the lens covers for it and get out to the range and finish dialing it in. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to get another bipod and bipod mount though, because it gets a little troublesome switching in between the rifles. So, but as most of you know, I usually got this set up for CQB anyway. So anyway, the Leupold Mark AR in an American Defense Manufacturing Recon S mount. And just got to throw it out there, people, you can actually get this package, the Mark AR and an ADM mount, from Midwest Industries. So anyway, see you out on the range. Hope you enjoyed.